Hello again, everybody, and we're on to the 1st of July, and it's all new set of maps and all new set of books to go through. I had thought about taking a couple of days off just to get everything organized, but I'm just having too much fun doing this. Every day it's the first thing I do in the morning. And really, I have a couple more days to get everything squared away because we don't really run into anything until we hit a drive to the south by the U.S. 8th, 7th, and 19th Corps to tidy up the lines west of St. Lo, and then we have the actual, no kidding, Battle of Caen coming up, in about a week, I think, and that's going to run basically through the end of the month anyway. Now, one other thing to cover, and it's going to come up in the squadron descriptions, so I'll just do it from right here with the main map up. We're going to hear reference to the bomb line, referring to the Allied front lines, and I have that depicted in red right here. This is the situation as of right now, where everything is finally converged, and the information on the map is, for this little instant in time, going to be perfectly accurate. Now, what would have happened is that in real time, the maps used for navigation would have been updated with the bomb line. And I'll bring up this map just to give an example of how it kind of would have looked. So the pilots going up on these missions would have this exact map with them, with the most current bomb line updated before they get airborne, so that everybody involved knows where the Allied lines are and knows whether or not it's okay to strafe trucks or vehicles. The Spitfires that we've seen making ground attacks so far have been doing interdiction way behind the line, so it hasn't really been that much of an issue. But dedicated ground attack Mustang and Typhoon units would find this information essential, making attacks closer and closer to the lines. And looking at it from the point of view of what I would hope would be included with any missions that come out of a mission designer on the Normandy map is something like this to go off of. And, I mean, specifically this exact map with this exact line, in addition to flight concentrations that would be recorded, and of course the planned route outlined on the map with landmarks, bearings, and distances to fly, everything that a person would need to carry out a mission. That's kind of what I would hope to see included, so I just wanted to point out what they would be referring to when they mention bomb line a little bit later. But this is one of the more uneventful days, so let's go ahead and knock out the descriptions here. And 441, Squadron Leader Brown completed his tour of operations and relinquished command of 441 Squadron. Flight Lieutenant Brannigan, B-Flight Commander, succeeded him and acquires the rank of Acting Squadron Leader. Flight Officer Brown took over as B-Flight Commander and has been made Acting Flight Lieutenant. Flight Officer Neal was posted to the squadron from 83 GSU. Pilot Officer Plews left for England to pick up another aircraft. 12 of our aircraft dive-bombed a bridge south of Caen with good results. A later patrol of the bomb line had to be cancelled because of adverse weather. And now 442, on the runway just before 0800 when 4 Focke-Wulf 190s were seen flying overhead, not scrambled. 4 up from 0810 for over an hour to patrol but did not see anything. Flight Sergeant Kuflik, wireless mechanic of 6442 Echelon, hit in the neck and arm by a piece of shrapnel this morning, taken to the hospital, not dangerously wounded. And the 6442 Echelon it refers to there is the ground servicing element assigned to the base. In other words, these are the mechanics, logisticians, engineers who are really making these sorties happen. So 13-15 hours, 8 planes up on a patrol, nothing noticed except for tank battles. Very, very likely referring to counterattacks into the British up here after the Epsom battle. At 16-20 hours, 2 sections of 4, each on patrol, nothing to report. Dull showery evening, on duty but not airborne. And about 32 flying hours for the day. And 443 simply states, weather conditions cloudy, medium wind, low ceiling, 18's cloud at 800 feet extending to 4,000 feet. Flight Lieutenant Wilson jumped by 2 long-nosed Focke-Wulf 190s at 100 yards on patrol this morning. He was able to climb into a cloud at 800 feet without receiving any hits. Action took place in the area of Falaise, south of Caen. Squadron on immediate readiness during the afternoon and evening, but weather would not allow large-scale air activity, and a little over 26 hours in the air for 443, so let's go ahead and look at these individual missions. And the day starts with this patrol by 443, 4 aircraft dispatched at 0605 on a beachhead patrol. Weather continued cloudy with medium cloud and intermittent showers, patrol uneventful, and immediately afterwards 8 more airborne at 0710 on a beach patrol, which turned out to be uneventful. 1 aircraft returned early due to low oil pressure. 442 Squadron is up next on a patrol, uneventful. Nil enemy aircraft opposition, nil flak, 8/10 cloud, 1,000 feet base, with tops at 5,000 feet. And that followed by a more eventful patrol by 443 at 11:30. So this is the one where they encounter the 190s. 12 aircraft scrambled to patrol Bayo Khan Road as the Huns were expected to attack it. After a short patrol in the area, the controller reported Huns in the Lasso area, and 6 long-nosed 190s were sighted carrying bombs heading northwest on the deck. Section of 6, led by Squadron Leader McLeod, attacked, and the Jerries swung in, also making it head-on. Several bursts fired, but no claims made. None of our aircraft damaged. The 190s disappeared in the cloud at 800 feet, which extended up to 4,000. Flight Lieutenant Wilson was jumped by 2 190s south of Khan while flying on the deck, but managed to get up into the cloud without being hit. And it notes that the Jerries got in between Flight Lieutenant Wilson and his number 2, Flight Officer Fairfield. And way to throw Flight Officer Fairfield under the bus there, but Wilson did manage to get away. Now it makes note of the long-nosed 190s, and that usually refers to the Dora, the Focke-Wulf 190D variants. And conventional wisdom says that the Doras were not in service at this time in Normandy. And this isn't the first time we've seen mention of long-nosed Focke-Wulf 190s. We saw a couple last month called out. So one other thing I'm going to do eventually is, just for my own purposes, try to nail down a good solid Luftwaffe order of battle. I mean, you can go to the internet and find that sort of thing, but as you can see, I'm not a person that necessarily is going to trust somebody else's research. I want to dig in and do it myself, so as I get that little side project rolling, I'll be able to make a much more confident identification when it comes to some cases like this. But in either case, next up is going to be 442 back up at 1315 on a patrol. And this is just another beachhead patrol, uneventful, base 1,000, top 4,000, heavy cloud cover. And then 441 is up on a dive bombing mission. We don't have an exact target other than a bridge south of Khan, bombed with good results. The squadron then made an armed reconnaissance, but this was uneventful. And bridges south of Khan, we have a lot of possibilities. I mean, the first ones that come to mind are these bridges just south of Khan over the Orne that were planned to have been taken as part of Operation Epsom. So it could be referring to those Orne River bridges. It could be the bridges further to the south, like the one that we saw down here yesterday by this village. In either case, they do report good results, and they are back down at 1,600, and that leaves 442 Squadron up next, and this is a 1620 to 1735 uneventful patrol, 10/10th cloud from 2,500 to 3,000 feet, visibility good. And then the last mission of the day is another 441 Squadron patrol, and this one is listed as Squadron took off to patrol the bomb line. Adverse weather caused the mission to be abandoned. So let me wrap up the 1st of July right here, move on into the 2nd, and thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.